So there are some points where you have to detach, period. You have to disconnect yourself from certain things, certain people, certain situations, certain jobs, churches even. Whatever the case is, whatever situation, person, whatever. Sometimes it's family. But ultimately, you have to sometimes, hopefully under the leadership and direction of the Holy Spirit, remove yourself. You have to back away. You have to pull away. And I say that because if you do not, there are some situations where if you do not disconnect yourself from that situation, you will have just as well been a passenger on the Titanic. Like, because it's sinking. It's sinking. You're sinking. The whole thing is sinking. And you have to be very careful what you're connected to, because connection is vital. Connection is vital. And that connection could be something that makes or breaks you. It could be something that propels you into greatness or propels you into hell, pretty much. So, and I don't say that literally. I mean that like hell in your life. So these are things we have to look at. Is the Holy Spirit leading you to disconnect from certain things, certain people, situations, etc.? You've also got to be willing to read the signs. Use some sense, okay? Red flags, yellow flags. When those flags start coming out, there's a reason. You know, we did a study the other day at a Bible study I visited at High Point Friends meeting. And that particular Bible study talked about Ezekiel chapter 2 and 3. And we talked about prophecy. And one of the things I said in that discussion was, you know, by the time it gets to the prophet, typically a prophet brings confirmation. Hands down. He or she brings confirmation. It's something you've already been nudged about. So I'm looking at it like this. If you've already been nudged about it and it's already made its way to a prophet, come on. If it's made its way to a prophet, that tells you volumes. That means that God has done all this stuff to get your attention, and now you're just not listening. So he says, I'm going to try this one more way. I'm going to try this one more way. And if they don't listen this time, it's on them. And you know I'm right. Study history, study the prophets, study the warnings that were given, and you see what happens. So, like I said, listen. Back to what I said. Be willing to disconnect yourself if you need to from certain situations, from certain people, circumstances, etc. At the leadership of the Holy Spirit, and honestly at the unctioning of your own sense sometimes. Sometimes they don't even take a nudge from the Holy Spirit. Sometimes all you got to do is look at the writing on the wall.